Church of England has appointed a woman as the Bishop of London for the first time. Sarah Mullally's appointment surprised many who had expected the church to avoid choosing a woman for this position. The move is expected to garner criticism from many of London's more conservative Anglo-Catholic and evangelical parishes.
Sarah Mullally, a former nurse, will be the first woman to take up one of the most senior positions in the Church of England. Her role, in fact, is third in the Church of England's hierarchy, below only the Archbishops of Canterbury and York.
I have to admit that I am both delighted and slightly terrified at being nominated.
Mullally was earlier the Chief Nursing Officer for England, the youngest to be appointed to the post before she was ordained in 2001.
Be able to find a spiritual home.
The Church of England allowed women to become priests in 1994, but only appointed its first female bishop in 2014, ending years of efforts by modernizers to overcome opposition from traditionalists. Many Anglo-Catholics, for example, regard the appointment of women as breaking the apostolic succession of men who have led the Church since the time of Christ.
We're very aware that for some, the appointment of a woman who is a bishop or a bishop who is a woman may be difficult. One of the wonderful things about London and its church is that it reflects the diversity of the Church of England. And I am very respectful of those who, for theological reasons, cannot accept my role as a priest or as a bishop.
Clearly, Dame Sarah knows she could face opposition from the diocese's prominent evangelical parishes. One of the key issues on which many would want to know her viewpoint would be the question of same-sex marriage. Mullally will be formally installed as a bishop at London's St. Paul Cathedral in the new year. Bureau Report, WION.
Saying she smashed the glass steeple. Why is it such a big deal? This ends years of efforts by modernizers to overcome opposition from traditionalists. But the struggle is far from over. Across the world, the Anglican community remains deeply split over the issue of women clergy. The issue of a controversial one in a diocese divided over women's ordination. Anglo-Catholics revere the tradition and ceremony of the church. Some believe a woman cannot be a valid bishop, and ordaining women prevents unity with the Roman Catholics. Evangelicals place great stress on the teachings of the Bible, and those who oppose women's ordination say scriptures require male headship in the church. Female bishops would also be able to ordain priests, which some opponents say is not merely unacceptable but also theologically impossible. Women serve as bishops in the US, Canada, Australia and New Zealand, but Anglican churches in some developing countries, particularly in Africa, still do not ordain women as priests. A long way to go, certainly. Women in top positions of religious leadership are a rare sight. But despite all of that, some of them have left their impact on millions around the world. Look at some remarkable examples. Mother Teresa is the first name that comes to mind. She was best known for her work to uplift the underprivileged. She started the Missionaries of Charity in Kolkata in 1950. She was canonized last year and was admired by many for her charitable work. Wu Zetian, who was the only female emperor in Chinese history, was known for her devotion to Buddhist faith. She is considered to be one of the most prominent advocates of Buddhism. She also used the religion to cement her position as an empress. During her tenure, she ordered and helped translate Buddhist scripture. Wu became an icon for religion in China, and Buddhist monks later declared that heavenly gods bestowed Wu with power. Prophet Muhammad's wife Khadija bint Khuwailid is widely regarded as the mother of Islam. Ancient texts say that she claimed her place in history by being the first person to convert to Islam and is regarded by Muslims as the mother of these believers. She is revered by followers even today. But on the whole, like many other avenues in life, religious administration and leadership remains a man's domain. As we said, a lot more to do in that direction.